This is actually a German bank. All of this is after the pipeline was approved, but they continue taking money away from them. This is a bank that has all these big promises in Germany that we want to support human rights, and we're not going to invest in anything that hurts the climate or hurts the earth. And meanwhile, they invested a bunch of money in Dakota Access behind the scenes. So they had a simultaneous protest in the German city where the bank is, and in New York City in front of their office. And several of our tribal firekeepers stood in front of their door with drums praying until they finally sent someone down to take our letter. Yeah.
You're now talking, I'm getting a little confused.
I'm sorry.
You're talking now about the demonstration out in North South Dakota, right? That pipeline. Which pipeline is this in?
This is our camp, but in solidarity with them. They're actually targeting banks that were paying for what happened in South Dakota.
So this divestment was in regards to the pipeline out west?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah, they're very engaged with both, but because the investment's been more public so far and further along.
Okay. All right. Just wasn't clear.
Yeah. And this bank did actually finally come down. We actually got them in trouble with their landlord because they refused to talk to us, so we didn't leave. And NYPD was very polite. We had a good relationship with the police, but they did eventually send someone down. And 2 days later, they took $120 million away from this bank because of the human rights violations that happened out west. So it's very inspiring. But the tribe feels that some of the reason why they're being targeted is because they've been so successful in marshaling support. This is actually the lady who finally did come down to speak to us. But it took them a bit. Actually, everybody called them on their phones at the same time when they wouldn't come down. It's great organizers who were there. And this is a beautiful ceremony. They honored Sophia Wolanski. So you may have heard. She was actually from our area on the Westchester side. And she was a brave young woman who nearly lost her hand due to a police grenade on one of the very scary nights when they were spraying ice cannons at people. So she had already had a relationship with the tribe before she went out, and when they heard what happened, they invited her and did a surprise ceremony to honor her. And the whole tribe came out, multiple chiefs and elders gave her blankets and gifts, and said a special prayer for her. You don't see it in this picture, but there's a whole school of children who came too with their teachers to watch. It was an incredible day. This is the first Water Walk March, so this is the one that ended at Indian Point, I believe, right? Yeah, so that was crossed over to Rockland. And I believe I met some of these young women. Some of these are friends of yours from way back in the early days of the Cherokee. There's a beautiful story that Kieran could share better than I could. But they had several families that welcomed into the country, and I got to speak with some of them and hear how they've been coming back. So it's incredible. Thank you for sharing those incredible relationships with us. We're honored to have you with us today. This is just the actual original sacred circle the tribe built, modeling it after their old historic structures. They call it a big house ceremony. So they're still facing lawsuits. They're facing court charges. They actually just revealed that they have a zoning permit from back in 2012 that the town gave them, and pretended it didn't exist, and they got a copy of it that they're bringing in now to court, acknowledging that they had a right to do religious uses on their land. But unfortunately, they're trying to find them. They're claiming the teepees are extremely dangerous structures and that they could kill hundreds of people just if teepee falls over. They are finding them for the dirt on the paths, which we originally the tribe put it there in conversations with the local neighbors, saying, we realize those cars come, we don't want to tear up the ground, so we'll put something down to make it look nicer. And actually, one of their neighbors kind of expressed that concern to them, and then he's the one who called the police. So there's been a lot of interesting, funny things happening back and forth. At one point, they invited us to use a light post to charge cell phones that was actually on the tribe's property, but they asked because we didn't want to, cause bad feelings. And he actually said, "Oh, please, this is the president of their neighborhood association." He also called the police, and they actually had a detective there sneakily trying to catch our people and actually threaten one of our elders, which led to a major incident. The police have backed off for the time being, but they're trying to set up charges. There's been mysterious vandalism happening. That they put up signs without our permission on our land, and then they get spray painted or knocked over. Well, none of our people are there, and then they try to accuse us. So there's been a lot of mysterious, strange things happening. Even the point of they claim somebody touched a camera once, and that it somehow damaged it 2 months later when it was mysteriously damaged. So things aren't lining up. We don't feel they have a good case, but it is alarming because they're trying to bully people. They're trying to actually set people up. I can't go into all the details because I'm not the lawyer, but from what I know, the charges are ridiculous. And these are elders who were sent to us by the leaders of the Mohawk Nation and several other tribes very respected people, and the town is trying to smear them and make them look like crazy people. And these are families and people we care dearly about. So we're just grateful for everyone who's learning, making themselves aware of what's happening. The tribe does have a legal fund, and they do have regular gatherings as well. There's a lot of ways to plug in if anybody has some interest afterwards. So, thank you. I want to make sure, maybe let Sandra speak first, but if anybody has interest later, I have a map actually that I asked people not to take pictures of this because it's not quite ready to publish yet, but Evan Pritchard actually has been working on a map of Orange County, traditional Native American sites, and I can actually share a few of the places you guys will be going tomorrow, maybe after. Would you like to talk first, Sandra?
I wanted to ask,
Sure.
if I may,
Yeah.
could you perhaps do a little bit of a presentation on this walk?
Yes.
This walk, because
So learn more about it.
yeah, so that I would know more about it.
Okay.
I guess everybody here knows the whole
Yeah.
situation.
But
I don't.
I don't either.
okay. Yeah, I mean, maybe someone from the group could share
And who
a
some
little
of
bit.
these people are
Yeah.
and so on.
Or introduce ourselves here. You guys came a little
Yeah.
late, so we want to make sure you got to meet everybody. So
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
whatever you think appropriate. And then maybe at the very end, I just want to share a few of the things that you'll be passing tomorrow that are kind of significant to history. But I can do that after.
The walk.
So yeah, the walk itself. Okay. Does somebody want to speak to that, or do we just want to go around briefly and introduce ourselves again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they're starting tomorrow.
Sure.
Hi, I'm Jim. This is my third peace walk, and I guess I'd just like to explain what it means to me, what has been drawing me back. I first came on the first Water Walk for Life we had earlier this year, and I was inspired by a multitude of things, but exceptionally by Standing Rock and what I learned. I feel like I followed it very offhandedly leading up to maybe November, and I got very interested and was trying to figure out how I could, alter what I've been doing, the work I've been doing in upstate New York, to commit to that, and to commit to spreading peace and also building solidarity for these movements, because it's not going to stop, and it can't stop if we continue to grow this community, build the community. And I feel that peace walks do that perfectly. It's a great way to bring people together, bring people that have been in this growing community together continuously, keep talking, networking, and eventually grow into something greater. The first peace walk, we came through the Ramapough Lunaape camp, and that was probably, I know it was a whole 8 or 9 days, but being in the camp was probably my highlight. And also in terms of a spiritual uplifting feeling getting there as we entered the camp. There was maybe 40 of us and maybe 100 people that received us. I'm just guessing, I don't know the exact numbers, but as we entered, we went straight to the circle and had the tobacco ceremony, and it was such a powerful feeling. And that is what the peace walk brought for me. It brought me to that point in my life to experience that strength and that power. And since then, I chose to go to Okinawa. I participated in a peace walk there for another very, very serious issue. I'll leave that off the table for now. But now it's brought me here in this new peace walk for the same issue, to continue our support for these struggles, indigenous people globally.